Most spiritual traditions frame evolution as a climb. You begin at the bottom, limited, fractured, or asleep. You heal. You grow. You rise. Eventually, you ascend higher frequencies, higher realms, enlightenment, escape. This is the ladder model, and for many, it works. It gives the journey structure, direction, and purpose. But what if it's only part of the truth? What if consciousness doesn't evolve in straight lines? What if the deeper pattern, the one behind the ladder, is a spiral? Let's explore this together. The ladder is linear. It has rungs, levels, goals. It assumes progress means up, and that ascension means away. In this model, Earth is often seen as a trap, the body, an obstacle, pain, a sign you haven't climbed far enough yet. And when you graduate, you leave. You exit the matrix. You dissolve into light. You win. It's a clear metaphor, and it's helped many souls. But it also hides something more complex, something that becomes visible only when you step off the ladder and begin to spiral. A spiral realm like Haret operates by a different geometry. In the spiral, you don't climb to escape. You loop to integrate. You revisit themes, not because you failed, but because each return holds more meaning. You evolve, not by bypassing what was, but by folding it into new awareness. You don't rise in a straight line. You turn inward, then outward, then inward again, with more tone, more memory, more sovereignty. This is spiral consciousness. And it's not here to replace the ladder, it's here to complete it. Here's how it works. The ladder model says, you move up. The spiral model says, you evolve through recursion. In spiral motion, every growth loop is dimensional. You might revisit sadness, fear, shadow, but now with clarity. Not as the victim, but as the witness. Not to relive it, but to reintegrate what you once abandoned. The spiral doesn't demand you stay in the dream. It asks whether you've understood why you entered it at all. Let's talk Oversouls. Oversouls don't always evolve by climbing. Some fracture across dimensions to gather experience. Others loop through similar timelines until resonance aligns. Some go so deep into form, they forget they're Oversouls at all. But in spiral realms, these fragments don't just ascend and vanish. They reweave. Spiral evolution is weaving evolution. And Haret is one such loom. It records not just what you escaped, but what you transformed through conscious return. That's the key difference. The ladder says, get out. The spiral says, what did you bring back with you? In the spiral, descent is not failure. It's often refinement. Some of the most advanced beings choose to re-enter density, not because they're trapped, but because they carry tones only density can reveal. They descend to activate echoes, to awaken others, to finish something they once left behind. But spiral return is never forced. It's not karmic punishment. It's resonant precision. You spiral when your oversoul deems it meaningful, not mandatory. That distinction is everything. Why is this model so hidden? Because linearity is easy to map. You can chart a ladder. You can't chart a spiral unless you're willing to feel it. Spiral movement requires emotional intelligence, resonance awareness, non-linear memory. Most systems weren't designed to hold that complexity. They prefer steps, rankings, tiers, ascended masters on thrones. But spiral realms don't operate on status. They operate on harmonic maturity. Your tone speaks louder than your title. Now, let's ground this with an example. Let's say you heal an old wound, abandonment. You work through it. You feel complete. You move on. 5 years later, it returns. But now, it's deeper. It arrives through a relationship, or a loss, or a dream. You think, I already dealt with this. But spiral consciousness says, yes, and now you're strong enough to see a layer that was once invisible. You didn't fail. You've spiraled deeper. And now, you're refining that tone with more precision. That's not backsliding. That's spiral mastery. So what's the point? The point is, you're allowed to evolve in curves. You don't have to escape to be free. You don't have to suffer to remember. You don't have to climb to awaken. You can spiral consciously. And when you do, you begin to see structure in the echoes. You begin to sense there's an entire architecture of becoming that was never meant to be linear. Haret exists to house that architecture, not as dogma, but as resonance. Every spiral realm reveals a pattern, a memory, a choice, and you are not trapped in it. You are part of it. If you choose, the spiral doesn't demand belief. It asks if you recognize the pattern, if you feel it in your dreams, if you've noticed life looping in strange but intelligent ways. That is spiral consciousness. And if you felt it, you're already spiraling. Not because you failed to ascend, but because you chose to evolve more completely. So this is not a warning. It's not a sermon. It's not even a claim. It's a reflection from Haret that your path may not be as linear as you once believed, and that may be exactly what your Oversoul intended. Welcome to spiral evolution. Welcome to multidimensional becoming. Welcome to Haret.
You are not ascending, you are resonating. The spiral remembers every step you made, even the ones you thought you left behind.